At the moment we are very much detached or very much far away from the real principles of religion. So that's why it's very difficult to understand what are the various codes, when we should follow the exceptions. So we need guidance at all steps. And then by following these principles under guidance, we can slowly link up. So the word yoga actually means linking up. And it is very mysterious process. Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam. This is a mysterious process. And the mystery is revealed by the learned sages or acharyas. So if we just hear from them, all the mysteries will be revealed. And then, as in Bhagavatam it is said, Purusha Purusham Vrajet, which means one Purusha, Vrajet means goes towards or links up to the other Purusha. So the same word is repeated twice, Purusha. Purusha actually means the enjoyer. So in Bhagavatam it is said, one Purusha approaches the other Purusha by performing religious principles, especially of Bhakti Yoga. So who are these two Purushas? So one is the living entity and the other is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So why is this word Purusha mentioned there for both of them? So Prabhupada explains in his purports that Purusha actually means enjoyer. So the enjoying propensity is there within both the living entity and the Supreme Personality of God. Living entity has that enjoying propensity because he is part and parcel of the Supreme. So he also has the same quality but not in the same quantity. So that is important to understand. We also have enjoying propensity, but we cannot enjoy artificially on the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can try, but we will never succeed. So Purusha Purusham Vraje. And then Prabhupada gives a very amazing example. So example is of a rich man and a poor man. The rich man also wants to enjoy and the poor man also wants to enjoy. But they cannot enjoy on the same level. The poor man eats something from the roadside seller and that's a feast for him. But a rich man goes to a 5-star hotel in the restaurant and he eats there very expensive items. Someone was telling me that somewhere they eat some food items and they put a layer of gold, like a thin layer of gold on top, and then they eat very expensive items. So rich people can do that. You can get nutrition without that, but because they have money, they have to spend somewhere. So a poor person also enjoys and a rich person also enjoys, but on different level. But when that poor person becomes the servant in the big palace of the rich man, he also enjoys pretty much on the same level. Because there's so many food items, food preparations prepared for the rich person and the whole big table is decorated and all the items are put there. But how much the rich man and his family will eat? They will cook extra. So what will happen to the remnants or whatever is not touched by the rich person and his family? The servants will eat. So they are also eating the same things which the rich person eats. So in the same way, when we as tiny living entities surrender to Krishna, then we also pretty much enjoy on the same level, but as servants, not as the Supreme Lord. So this is very important to understand. So that's a very simple example, analogy given by Prabhupada, but very profound. If we understand that, all our problems are solved. We are trying to enjoy on the level of the Supreme while we are not surrendered. So that's very difficult and very artificial. We can just try and try, but if you just simply surrender to Krishna, everything is available to you. pretty much on the same level. And Krishna wants to invite you to his party. Krishna is always enjoying. And he comes to this world in so many different incarnations to exhibit his pastimes. As we hear that two main reasons why Krishna or his incarnations come are to kill the miscreants and to deliver the pious. But Prabhupada in his purpose writes that the miscreants can be killed just by time factor or material energy. Krishna doesn't have to come himself. So Krishna himself comes mainly to attract the fallen souls. He exhibits various pastimes so we can be attracted. And then he wants us to join the party. But we become so conditioned and covered that we try to enjoy here. So the problem in enjoying in material world is the resources are limited. So there is competition. So in spiritual world there is no competition. All the resources are available in abundance. And Krishna is not the poor man, he is the richest man. He has all the opulences, so he can make all the opulences available for all his surrendered souls. So for even beginning devotees, they have this sort of competitive spirit. And as they advance, they realize that there is no competition. Spiritual aspects or spiritual resources are available in abundance. Holy name is the Golokera Prem Dana, Harinam Sankirtan. The real wealth is the holy name. So is there any scarcity of holy name? They say you must chant minimum of 16 rounds. But they never say what is the maximum. There is no maximum. So you can actually chant the holy name whole day, whole night. No one will stop you, and it's free, it's available. So this is the mentality of a spiritualist. But we think, we want to push ourselves in the front. But we can never become number one. Number one is always Krishna. He is the supreme one. So that's why Krishna says, Mam Ekam. I am the supreme one and everything else is zero. So if you put that one in front of so many zeros, then there is some meaning. Otherwise, if you have 2 zeros or 200 zeros, the value is the same, zero. So if you put Krishna, if you bring Krishna in the picture, then there is some meaning. And then we can, go out of this competitive spirit. And it's very, it saps a lot of your energy, mental energy, that I want to exceed, excel. How come this other person is ahead? And then it becomes worse. The envy is there, and we want to pull other person down. If we can't go above someone, we want to pull them down below us. So this competitive spirit and envy becomes more and more dirty. So how to deal with it? Just surrender to Krishna, follow the process of bhakti, and slowly there will be, the heart will be cleansed, Cheto Darpan Marjana. And then when we have received this process of bhakti, we can slowly start giving it to others. There are 2 words mentioned in Bhagavatam. One is mana, or giving respect, and other is dana, or giving charity. So, one who is superior to us, we give them respect. And one who is inferior, we give them mercy. In material world, things work differently. But this is a spiritual concept. So, spiritually, those who are higher than us, we should respect them. And those who are new to Krishna consciousness, we should give them Krishna consciousness as much as possible. We should have mercy on them. So this mana and dana process is described in the scriptures, and acharyas have also exhibited this through their wonderful lifestyles, how they were giving Krishna consciousness to everyone and they were respecting everyone. Even the new person who is not a devotee should be respected as much as required. Of course, Rupa Goswami explains that this respect has to be given with discrimination. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta. One who just chants Krishna once, even once, we should respect them mentally. So, even a person comes to the temple first time and he chants Krishna just one time, we should respect them mentally. But then, Dikshasti chet pranati vishya bhajantamisham. One who has taken Diksha, initiation, which means they are following the principles, following all the rules, practicing bhajan kriya, we should physically pay obeisances to them. So first stage is, one who chants Krishna one time, we can respect them mentally. And then physically we can pay obeisances to those who are very seriously engaged and initiated or about to be initiated. But then the third level of respect, which is the highest respect, is given to those who are pure devotees, who have no propensity to criticize others. That's what Rupa Goswami explains. A pure devotee, Uttamadhikari, has no propensity to criticize others. So such a person should be dealt in the highest way. And what is the highest way? You fully surrender to them and serve them with full heart. Bhajana Vigyam Ananya. So such a person who is fully engaged in spiritual life, spiritual practices, such a person should be served without any reservation, like with heart. So these are the three levels. So a new person, you may not serve them with full heart. You can respect them still. And then all other devotees initiated or on the path, who are following principles, we can physically bow down to them. They may not be 100% Uttamadhikaris, but still we can physically bow down to them. And then there are pure devotees. We can see their words, their bodies, and their minds are fully dedicated to Krishna. So to such persons we can dedicate our life. So that is the process of bhakti. And when we do that, then Krishna becomes happy and he bestows his mercy. So this mercy of Krishna we cannot get directly. We have to please a devotee first. Then Krishna is pleased. One example that we hear is, you love me, love my dog. And so how that relates to it is, Krishna's pure devotees are very faithful to Krishna. So if we don't respect devotees, especially pure devotees, then Krishna will never be pleased. But the Kanishta Adhikari, he doesn't see other devotees. He just sees himself and the Lord. And he prays that, Lord, give me this, give me that, because I am your devotee. Because I have come to the temple. So you should give me this. So this example, I don't know if I mentioned in Bhagavatam classes, but I've mentioned this in other places. So this mentality of giving orders to Krishna, there's one example of a waiter. When a person goes to the restaurant, the waiter brings the menu and the person orders, okay, he chooses, he takes his time, he makes a choice, okay, I want this, this and this. So please bring it as soon as possible in the best way. The things which are meant to be hot, they should be at perfect temperature, perfect tenderness and perfect timing. So just bring that. And if the waiter or the cooks are slightly late, this person, who has come with all his money and cards, he becomes upset. He said, how come my order has still not arrived? This other table has already got their order. And you call your manager. Who's your manager? And the manager comes to, yes sir, what happened? He said, I ordered and the order is not here, what's this? Or if the order is not proper as desired, he becomes upset. So beginning devotees, Prakrita Bhaktas, are like that. They come to Krishna and they give a whole order. This is my order and this should arrive as and when I like. And the order is not here. I prayed to you, I put some money in the hundi and still what I wanted I did not achieve. What is this happening? In the mind, that person's chastising Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is some benefit, as it is said in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter. Udara sarva evete jnani tvatvaiva me matam. There are 4 types of pious people who approach Krishna. One is the desirer of wealth, one is the distressed, one is who is inquisitive, and one who is trying to have knowledge of the Absolute. These are 4 types of people who approach Krishna, and all are udara or magnanimous. Because they have approached Krishna, they will be purified. But they shouldn't remain at that level. They should be purified and they should go to the Madhyama level and Uttama level eventually. But just to graphically mention the mentality of a beginning devotee, I mentioned that analogy of a waiter and the master who comes to the restaurant. So this is how if we are asking for something material, this is what the mentality is. We can't put a timetable to Krishna that I want this and you should give me this because I deserve. So that's not the correct mentality. So correct mentality is, oh Krishna, I am your servant. How can I serve you? I would like to serve you in this way. So if you want, you can give me that service. Otherwise, whatever service is available, I can do. So that pleases Krishna. If someone comes to you with that mentality, that what do you want? How can I serve you? You will feel so good that yes, you should do this, you should do that. So Krishna is also like that. We have that mentality because that's coming from Krishna. So if we surrender to Krishna like that, then we can make very quick progress. So that's the mercy of Krishna. We have to please devotees and eventually we will get the mercy of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam in 10th canto, there is this example of the pastime of Kaliya and his wives. So Kaliya was this vicious, venomous serpent polluting the whole lake in the Yamuna river. And then just as a pastime, Krishna went there and he jumped into the river and Kaliya grasped Krishna in his coils. And all the Brajvasis came there. And then just to increase the love of Krishna, Krishna stayed in the coils of Kaliya. Anyone knows for how long Krishna was there in the coils of Kaliya? From Krishna book, anyone remembers? I think it was 2 hours. He was just there and Mother Yashoda and all the Brajvasis are there watching that this ferocious snake with so many hoods has captured their most beloved Krishna. And Krishna allowed that. And they were feeling this grief and pain. And in Nectar of Devotion it is mentioned the feelings of Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda was surprised because for Brajvasis there is nothing more dear than Krishna. And when Krishna is in that situation, because they are covered by Yogamaya, they don't know that he is the Supreme Powerful, Supreme Personality of Godhead. They think it's our Krishna, our son or our friend, like that. So they are seeing that pastime like that. So Mother Yashoda wonders that there is nothing else for me in life than Krishna, and Krishna is in this situation and he is going to die because she is thinking Krishna is her little boy and now he is in the coils of this ferocious serpent. So she says that he is going to die and I am seeing that and still my body is not disintegrating in various fragments. How amazing is the conserving or preserving power of this material world, that my body is not becoming, coming into acharyas. So this is what Mother Yashoda is feeling. So Krishna purposefully put all of these Brajvasis in that sort of anxiety to increase their love. So it's very difficult to understand these pastimes. So if we hear these pastimes over and over again, then we can understand why these pastimes are not very distant from us. Because as devotees, we also go through problems. So we think, oh, why am I being put in such a situation? So when we see the situations that Pandavas were put in, or Brajvasis, or any other devotee, great devotee is put in, in this canto we saw what situation was Amrish Maharaj put in. He was about to be killed by the demon created by Dasa Muni. So when we hear about all these pastimes, then we can understand why Krishna does this and what is the final outcome. So we can be assured that Krishna will deal with us also very nicely. And all these pastimes are just external and eventually will be taken care of. We are taken care of by Krishna from the moment we surrender in the beginning, as a beginning devotee. Krishna is protecting us. But we just can't see it. We are a bit dumb in the beginning phases. So we can't see Krishna's protection, Krishna's mercy. But if we keep serving Krishna, then eventually we can see. So here we can see this pastime, Dushmanta is saying that he actually, when he saw the beautiful daughter of Vishwamitra and the Apsara, Menaka, and this daughter was very beautiful, and she was there in the forest in the ashram of Kanva Muni because the parents left. So generally what happens is a sage, when he performs a lot of austerities, so Indra becomes a bit paranoid that this sage is performing austerity, he is gaining pious credits, he may take my post. So to bewilder or distract the sage, Indra sent some Apsara to allure the sage. And this time Indra succeeded. So Menaka came and she presented herself in front of Vishwamitra, and as a result we got Shakuntala. So Shakuntala was also daughter of Vishwamitra and beautiful Apsara. So she was also very beautiful. So now when this king Dushmanta saw her there in the ashram of Kanva Muni was taking care of Shakuntala. So as a guardian. So there he saw Shakuntala. So Dushmanta became very lusty and she approached and joked that, oh, what are you doing here in the forest? So I'll just read the exact verse. He says, "O most beautiful one, it appears to my mind that you must be the daughter of a Kshatriya." Because he wanted to have a relationship with Shakuntala, so that's why he was speaking all these words. That because I belong to Puru dynasty, my mind never endeavors to enjoy anything irreligiously, which means suggesting that if you and I combine, it will be very religious. So these are the ways, when you have to strike a relationship, you have to say all these things. They may not be true, but they say all those things. But Shakuntala, she was being raised by this sage, Kanva Muni, so she was very respectful. She said, okay, you have come here, how can I serve you? And then we'll see how this pastime unfolds in further verses. So this is the point, that following Dharma and eventually Bhagavad Dharma, this will lead us to the Supreme Purusha. Purusham Rajet. We can approach the Supreme Lord by following the principles of Dharma under guidance of Acharyas. And it's a very easy process and it's a natural process. It's not artificial. So I'd like to end there and see if you have any questions or comments on what we discussed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the nice classroom. mentioned that when we see someone coming for the first time, so we should, and they chant the name of Krishna, we should respect them mentally. But for the Madhyam and what was the other?
Those who are initiated or following rules,
Yes.
physically.
Is it right for someone Ganesh like me to differentiate between initiated and the other devotees who are way too
Everyone must discriminate because we have limited time. If you fully surrender to each one and everyone, how it's not possible. Even materially, there is not much time. So you can only dedicate to some people and serve them very sincerely. If you want to serve everyone sincerely, it is said, everyone's servant is no one's servant. If a person comes first time, okay, what can I do for you? I'll come to your house, whatever you want, I'll wash your clothes, I'll clean your house, then that's it. How will you serve others? And that service, they may not even take it properly. So the real reciprocation can be there. For the service, there has to be reciprocation also. So if there is a very advanced devotee and you serve them with full heart, so what is the reciprocation? They give you their blessings, and with their blessings, you get mercy of Krishna. But if you fully surrender to a new person, not only mentally but fully, you do their laundry, you mow their lawn, what will they give you? They may not even give you money. So what's the use? So we have to bring them to Krishna consciousness, respect them. They have come to temple or they've got a book or respect them, and as much as possible bring them to Krishna.
Thank you.
Any other question? Hare Krishna.
I just have a question when you talk about respect and respect at the third level, the highest. There's been quite a bit of controversy over the years about these Western people abusing children, abusing women. How does one know who is pure to Krishna?
You mean within this society, within spiritual circles?
Within Krishna, within ISKCON.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is quite big, it's out there, but as a devotee and you put all your heart into someone and they've betrayed you, it's a bit sad and it leaves you with not much faith. How do we overcome that and how do we know? I know it's a difficult question.
It's not a difficult question.
Okay. How do we
It's a
know?
very easy question. So the point is, this society for Krishna consciousness is like a hospital. So who goes to the hospital? Those who are sick. So what is the real disease? Real disease is that we have forgotten who we are. So here in this place we are getting this treatment, and eventually when we gain our health, we would understand we are the spirit soul, part of the Supreme, and we have to serve the Supreme. Right? So this is the setting of this society. So now people are coming from different backgrounds within ISKCON, and there are so many services. So whoever is most qualified, they are given the service and they do it sincerely. But what happens is sometimes when you get a very big disease and you take medicine and you are cured for some time, you have to be very careful. What's the word? Convalescence. There is a period after, even when you are treated, there is a period when you are vulnerable to go back to that disease. So you have to be careful even after being treated. So sometimes it has happened within this society and within all other spiritual institutions that even some minority of the seniors may have not followed the standards and done something which was not appropriate, and then the authorities have dealt with it properly, like that, and they are no longer in that position, like that. So it happens because this world is like a battlefield. Maya or the illusory energy is targeting everyone. I'll tell you one thing. One time I was distributing Bhagavad Gita and other books on Chapel Street. And one young Christian approached me and he said, "Brother, you are doing very good. But you have to be specifically be careful because the devil has already got them. Got them means there were so many people. The devil has already got them, but because you are doing missionary activity, devil will be after you more." You understand? So, if someone is under the grip of material energy, it's easy thing for material energy to defeat a person who is a materialist. But a person who tries to follow spiritual path and fights back, so the material energy fights back even more vehemently. So that was his point, and I really liked, he knew that I was a Hare Krishna monk and he was a Christian, but he understood the point and I really appreciated him. So this is the point. So some people may have fallen down from their position, but at least they tried, and in Bhagavad Gita it is said, whatever bhakti you have done, that has a permanent effect.
But they've tried and they've destroyed other people's lives.
But they have also brought so many people to Krishna consciousness. So when there is a war, there is collateral damage. You understand? So of course, Krishna consciousness is the most powerful force. But at the same time, we have to understand the devotees are at different level and they are trying their best. So most devotees join with a good intention, but eventually the Maya is so powerful. So then many of them later repent that, oh, what happened, They repent, many of them, that, oh, what I did was wrong, and then I was not careful, So that's there. So we have to be very practically, we have to understand the whole thing. Yes, we are not utopian. We can't say whoever comes to ISKCON or any spiritual society, they will keep going up all the time. Generally that's the case.
Yeah.
But yes, there are some examples which we don't deny. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, thanks. Any other question or comment? Okay, thank you very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki